Wanna know if I'm alright. Ooh, Good evening and welcome to round 3 of our VRS Pro Series. It's Neil Alexander here. Joining me in the booth tonight is Matt Nipperis. Matt, how are we, champion?
Mate, I'm doing pretty well. Unfortunately, had to work today, but that's Christmas for you. And unfortunately, I'm working tomorrow. But hell, I am looking forward to Nurburgring and the Pro Series tonight.
Yep, round 3, we're at Nurburgring. This week we have seen quite an interesting round across all the sprint series splits. Lots of excitement, lots of drama. Hopefully tonight it's a nice smooth sailing for the gentlemen and women that are out there. So good luck to everyone competing. Let's just go over the standings for now. Here it is after round 2. Grantas Caracas, he's had 3 wins in a row in a commanding spot, but hot on his heels is Felipe Bakita, who's had a couple of pole positions and looked very pacey. Actually, a couple of fastest laps last week, even without securing a win. We've got Lucas Burrs, he's in P3 still, and a very talented field right up and amongst it. We do have a drop round, so the lowest scoring round of yours for the series gets taken out of the equation. So those standings will look very different next week. Who's the one to watch tonight, mate?
Oh, geez, it's going to be hard to go past Grantis, isn't it? Or Philippa. Those two have just been a league of their own. Just showing everyone how it's done over the last few rounds. And it's just made for some brilliant racing across the last 2 rounds. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of that tonight. It'll be interesting to see who can take out that final step of the podium. Of course, we've got Burrs. I think, is Matthew Lamb in there tonight? I can't see his name on the...
He was. Yeah, I saw him out before. Yeah, there is 16.
So he is. And of course, Paul Britt out there as well. So all drivers that can compete for that for the podium. Whether they can take it up to Bakita and Grantis is another question.
Definitely. They've both had, let's say, relatively smooth sailing so far. They haven't really had any barneys and incidents they've been caught up in, and I hope that does continue, but it doesn't take much for that to happen. They did come together very, very tightly at Monza. But yes, looking forward to tonight. Shout out to Shady Samuel and his partner who gave birth last night, I believe, so he's out of tonight with much more important things. So congratulations there.
Yes, indeed, and a couple other people who are out. Zach Smith, Pickford, and Brad Cook with a question mark next to his name as well. So a couple of decent names out tonight, unfortunately. So, but well, we're at Nurburgring. Nurburgring tends to put on some pretty good racing. I certainly enjoy this track. What about you, Mel's?
I have learned to love it since ACC. I wasn't a huge fan early. The only thing I don't like about it is how many people ask for the Nordschleife. Bring the Nordschleife here. I'm not a fan of the Nordschleife. That's just me, but that's like saying I'm not a fan of Bathurst. People just, what? But the Nürburgring itself, don't mind it.
Yeah, I think I kind of missed the classic layout of the Nürburgring, where it had that faster turn 1, turn 2. But I think the new layout sort of has its own little advantages. Like this turn 3, I love that corner just because it does open up a bit of a dive bomb opportunity. Even the hairpin gives you an opportunity to make a few little sneaky moves in turn 2 as well. But yeah, I think the old school fast turn 1, turn 2 was hard to beat.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I did like that layout. This one, it's easy to get quite tangled up early on. Even through here, down to the hairpin. You see a lot of late sends. But these drivers out there are very, very talented. And as you can see by the times, we've already up to the 53 flats by Caracas. Bakita 2/10 back, and 1 second further back, we go all the way to P11 and 12. And that's with quite a few drivers yet to set a time. So, very pacey early on. Someone asked in chat if we'll see rain tonight. Your guess is as good as mine. And hello, Jen. How are we over there in the land of the Victorians? It's nice and warm here today. What about the temp where you are, Matt?
It's been reasonable.
Sorry, just to cut you off for a second. Bakita's just gone 52.7. We're into the 52s. We're talking about that. So it's hot out there. What about you? How hot is it where you are?
I think got up to about 24, 25.
Sorry again, Matt. Let's look at the timing sheet.
Yeah, I just saw that then.
That's insane. Never seen it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's how you want to play it. So.
I'm sensitive.
Third time lucky. Third time lucky. I'll let you speak. But yeah, that's insane. Doesn't get much tighter.
Oh, geez, and Burzka is only a 10th off. Jeez.
We're on for a show tonight.
Oh, hell yeah, we are. Looking forward to this, especially Bakita and Caracas. First corner, I don't think those two are going to give it inch. I think Bakita will be desperate to try and claw back some ground that she lost over the last 2 rounds. Certainly rare to see Bakita get beaten. Well, not once, but twice. Once is rare, but twice is... What's rarer than rare?
A clean race at Monza. It's actually not too bad. That's not a good comparison. But Rialto Ristofani, he's gone P4. Corey Sweet, he had a good race 1 last week. Race 2 not so good. But that P5, 6 tenths back, he's in for a shout. I'm hoping Ristofani can kind of settle in and get those nerves out of the way. Because the man has a lot of talent. He's just got to try and get that consistency going, and he's still a shout for a podium. And obviously the man on board with now, Matthew Lamb, last week was absolutely on fire. Round one to forget. I think he got disconnected. Can you remember?
Yeah. I think it was round 2. He had hardware failure or something.
Oh, that's
I know
right.
he had a hardware failure.
Stephen Ty just goes P4, Matty Lamb goes P5, so Ristofani drops down 2 positions. She's heating up, and it's great to see Milana out there tonight. He had to miss last week because he's been jet setting around the world. So, and also Rushmart, who's in P10 at the moment. He's also back after having last week off, the last round off. But can't wait. It's got 6 minutes and a half left here. Let's go on board with Demario Hasnam, picking up a win in the sprint series during the week. He's in some fine form. He's currently best of a 54 flat. I can't remember if he dipped into the 53s during sprints, but I'm pretty sure that he did. G'day chat, how are we? Mull. Yes, let's attend the chat room. No worries. So, I reckon it'll be a dry tonight. Currently, track temp is 26 degrees, no wind, slight cloud. Perfect conditions for racing.
Yeah, that can change. It is still the Nurburgring. Even if it isn't the Nordschleife, it is still the Nurburgring. We can have that wild change of weather. And just when you say it's not going to rain, it probably will rain. Wait, would that count as the commentator's curse?
Everything does, mate.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Absolutely everything. I'll be back in 1 sec, mate. Leave it with you.
Okay, so 5 minutes left on the clock. I guess I'll take the reins for now. We're currently watching Lucas Burrs. We'll see if he can try and join that 52-7 party that we got with Bakita and Caracas at the top. Interestingly, Bakita and Caracas not able to improve, so we've still got that deadlock at the top of the timing sheets. We'll have to keep an eye on Lamb and Ty as well. They're looking pretty speedy. 2 Hondas breaking up the sea of Porsches at the moment. Then we have to go back to Rama Milana, one of 2 Astons in the top 10. Geez, the Porsche domination, we saw it in the sprint series, well, especially just going back to my own split, Scari, there's nothing but Porsches in the top 5, and looking like we're having a repeat of that. Porsche just absolutely unstoppable. Actually, sorry, I take that back. Probably not the car, but the drivers in a decent car like the Porsche prove to be unstoppable at the moment. Probably any Bentleys? Yes, we have one Bentley. We have one madman out there in a Bentley. You just see him flashing in the background there, and that would be Ben Piper. The only Bentley out there, sadly. There he is, right on cue.
He's a madman.
He certainly is a madman. I mean, he's a carter. He's an ex-carter, so, you know, they're all mad.
It's great to see the Per Mobile esports car running around. Yeah, it's sad that the way the Bentleys have fallen away in the last 6 months, but that's life. Hopefully it'll maybe make a return, but I just don't feel that it will for quite some time, if ever. It's no longer factory supported, I believe, in the IRL.
No, I don't think it is. It's a very good question. I know that, was it Jules Gounon? He's off to BMW or something like that. Someone who was ex Bentley is off to BMW next year.
That'll do it.
That's a bit wide.
So, nearing 2.5 minutes left. We've probably got 2 more laps out of these drivers. Absolutely nothing separates Bakita and Caracas at the moment. As you can see, that is not your eyes deceiving you. It is dead heat. And the reason Bakita will be P1 is because she set the time first. I do believe on ACC there is a 4th delta, a 4th decimal with these times that we don't actually get to see. So there's also that. She might actually just have a fastest lap, but either way at the moment, Bakita P1, Caracas P2 with Burrs right behind him P3. 5:10 separate the top 6.
Burrs just went 2 hundredths faster. So he's now down to 1.15 behind the Caracas and Bakita. So he should have one more chance, if I'm not mistaken, to try and get this done.
At the moment, look at that. It's up nearly 4/10 on it. What is this?
I was just about to say, I can't believe they're in the 52s, and this guy's about to go 52, what, 52.4, 52.3?
Yeah, it's
scary.
It is scary.
But leave it up to the Pro Series. Leave it to the Pro Series guys to just, when you get your confidence up, just to put you back in your box.
Yeah, way too much curb there to the last chicane, and backs out to set himself up for the final lap, as has Makita done the same. No other deltas that are green at the moment except this man. He's looking for a 10th or 2, which can get him up to the 2nd row. Oh, he's just lost a little bit of time in the last corner, but moves up to P7. 2 hundredths faster than Corey Sweet.
Not mistaken, we've got a nice little bit of a flow here going with the rows. So we've got a row of Porsches and a row of Hondas and a row of Porsches again. So if Sweet can, or Britt can maybe move up a couple of positions. Have that nice little...
Bang.
There we go. Thanks, Paul.
So it's very, very tight. Bentley's not that bad in ACC. No, Bentley's no good in ACC. Some tracks it's obviously better than others, but overall it's not as competitive as it once was. This time last year, or the start of this year, you'd rival Bentley just selections over Porsches. But now Porsche's back dominating. I'm still very, very keen to see the new Ferrari 296 and the new Lamborghini Evo.
Yep, so next season it will just be Ferraris and Lambos.
Nah, you'll definitely see Porsche, I reckon.
Oh yeah, well, we'll have Porsches.
You can't win. You can't win. Especially if there's that new Porsche coming out too. But what's that? 3 mid-rear engine cars, so what do you drive if you're not? It's probably the Aston.
Yeah, probably I would suggest the Aston or the BMW.
He's going to go quicker here.
Yeah, he is. He's going to
Bang!
52.6, sorry. Wow.
Takes pole position right on the death.
Just pip to pip.
Just pip. Alex Bowen in a very beautiful car. Those colours don't actually work too bad together if that's your thing. Smashing it through the last chicane. He's currently up a 10th. That may sneak him into the top 10. Will he improve his time? He doesn't quite do it.
He ran a little bit wide and grabbed the gravel on the exit of the final corner. That would cost him a few tenths there.
And that is qualifying done for round 3 here at the Nurbs. Sunny skies. Actually, if I put that, 28 degrees, 1 kilometre wind, all sun. And this race, a little tiny bit of a tweak to what we normally do in a sprint round. This is 70 minutes with 1 stop. Not 60, 70. Does that change much? I don't know. But what it will do is it gives us a look for a bit longer at the talent out there. A Dogecoin livery. I've seen everything now. Charles Clark. What is this? This car's worth what? 25 cents?
I think it just dropped down to 20.
Very true. But a lovely grid out there. Legion of Racers cars look great there. They're together. They're teaming up. So it looks like Milana's gone P8, Rashmat P10. And that is your grid for this round. Next round is next week, and that is the final race of 2022 in Octane Online Racing. So that'll be at Kyalami. And that'll be a super sprint round with a couple of little changes as well. So really looking forward to that. We might see another car park, I think. So far, cross our fingers and touch wood, the Pro Series is the starts. The first 2 laps have been very, very good. Would you have to agree with that, Matt?
Yeah, so far, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they even got through turn 1 at Monza pretty well, didn't they?
I did. Actually,
Yeah,
that race was incredibly clean, like ridiculously clean overall. You're never going to have a race without incident, and especially in a competitive field that's a larger grid. Always going to be something. How are we, chat? Who do we think is going to snag the win tonight? Is Caracas going to make it 3 rounds from 3? Will Paquita finally chalk up that W that she's been awfully close to? Will we see someone else jump into that top step? Who's your pick in chat? It's hard to go past the top 2 Porsches. But still,
hard to go past any of the Porsches, really. They're all quick. Lamb, Brit.
Honda's pretty good here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty good around here.
Mind you, if we give them all the Lambo, they'd probably still be up that pointy end.
Oh, yeah. Oh, even if you put them in a GT4 car, they'd probably still be at the front. I think I'm going to have to go with Philippa, though. She's got to be hungry. She's been beaten twice. She's got to be hungry for this one.
Yep. She had Monza until the very last moment. So it hasn't been a domination just by Caracas. It's been very, very tight. All right, let's just see if these work. That's a big fat no. Streamlabs never change. It's cloud saving on Streamlabs. Is some more drugs in King's Cross. My money on Caracas. How much money? Let's put some money out there. Imbeck says Caracas. Grand Tuss will sweep it. Burrs for an upset since Valiance. Oh, Prabhu's gone Caracas and Piper. That is
brave. Yeah, Ben down in 25th position.
That's a big difference.
It's
exactly. You never know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, some guys like myself, not good at qualifying, but we always manage to move forward in the race. And Ben is a more than capable driver. I think he can take that Bentley a little bit further than 25th. And of course, 70-minute race with a pit stop. Never know. Strategy is going to be a thing.
Oh, for sure. I think I've fixed that little...
Oh, beautiful.
Interesting little bunch up there on the right-hand side. I think someone's made a mistake during the formation lap and got out of position, but the safety car will bunch them up very, very shortly. Again, shout out to our stewards volunteering their time and doing an absolute stellar job as always. Caracas, Paquita, Burrs, Lamb, that's your front four.
The rest of the field just starts to bunch up and get into a reasonably straight 2x2 formation. A few little gaps, but overall not too bad.
Safety car has peeled away. All right, let's kick off round 3 here at the Nurburgring for the VRS Pro Series. Caracas lead the championship. Paquita is P2 and Burrs is P3, and that is your front 3 here for the start of this race. We're 70 minutes here at the Nurburgring. We wait for green lights, and we're away here. Very balanced start. I love when I say that because that's a good thing. But Burrs in his Honda has pierced the Porsches right down the middle. What's going to happen as they head down to turn 1? It's a horrible braking zone. It cambers away. It's blind apex. And there's 5 wide just at the back. But it looks like Burrs ahead has got ahead of Paquita. And he's just grabbed Caracas. What a start there by Lucas Burrs. Matthew Lamb looks like he's in P4. He's being chased heavily by Stephen Tyke. Corey Sweets just sent it back. A little bit of argy-bargy. A solid start all around. No yellow flags is what we want to see here. And that is a very solid start. Ristofani just got to keep those nerves under check, and I reckon he's going to have a good result here today. Milana P8. Where did Rushmut finish? Rushmut I can't quite see. Looks like 12th, so he's dropped a couple of positions. Oh, that's a fantastic start, Matt.
Yeah, dream start for Lucas Burrs, as he runs a little bit deep into the carousel, but fortunately for him, Caracas not able to take advantage of that. Burrs looking a little bit scrappy just in those first few laps. I'm not sure he was expecting to jump the 2 Porsches at the start there. But either way,
nailed it.
Yeah, just beautiful move around the outside of turn 1. And of course, that gave him the inside run into turn 2. Can get away with it with those real slow corners like turn 1 here at the Nurburgring, going around the outside. And I think Caracas very, very gentlemanly gave him some space. I think it would have been a huge relief for Paquita after seeing Burrs get in front of Caracas, because I don't think she would have wanted to see the Honda in front of her, in between her and Caracas.
Oh, no, not at all. The V-Check's just kicked in there for Burrs, and he's absolutely sent us. So now Caracas is right behind, and this will be lap 1 in the books. Very balanced start by all drivers. Burrs is having to defend already. This is going to be a little bit of chess at the moment. It's a 70-minute race, so there's plenty of time to get the move done. And nope, never mind. Let's get it done right now. And there's a fair chance Caracas might lose out both. Paquita's going to go around the outside. There's a little bit of a touch. Rubbing is racing, and Caracas holds on for now. Yeah, bit keen, bit early. Burrs was open to it.
Might have sent it a little too hard there. Speaking of sends, that sends from Corey Sweet on lap 1 into turn 3. I don't know how he didn't just create skittles then.
Yeah, he was bold, he was brave, and he was lucky.
Sometimes you got to take those chances on lap 1. And,
you do.
Corey Sweet. It's paid off for him up into P6 at the moment, just trailing Stephen Tyre and Matthew Lamb. They're actually not dropping much to our leaders here.
No, Burrs will have to defend a fair bit if he wants to hold the lead over these two Porsches. He's got all the talent in the world, all the pace, but will that cost him a little bit of time and keep everyone else involved? I think it will. But I'm very interested to see how the Honda goes over the stint. Did you find on Wednesday or Thursday it was better towards the end of a stint or early in the stint?
Well, my race was a Ascari, so I had a wet start and then it dried out near the end. That was great.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But I do find that the Honda is a little bit nasty to its tyres. I'm sure someone like Lucas Burrs has probably worked out a way to make the car a little bit nicer on its tyres. Well, there's a send around the outside. That was nicely done. Who was that? Anthony Cesano wants to create a bit of a backup. There's Benny Piper! Ghost done! He's almost up to 18th.
He's flying.
What I tell you, might not be a good qualifier, but he can race.
Yeah, very talented man, and he's picked himself a challenge in the car he's in. But he started what? He started at the back of the grid?
He was down in 24th, 25th, I think, and he's up to 19th. He's battling away with Charles Clark there in that red Beamer. But he's just slotted his way into 19th. I think he did pretty well on Thursday night as well. He's in my split. I think he got a top 10.
It's good to see Steve Davis got caught out that chicane. Is still having to try and slot his way back into this little battle. And he's done so pretty well. Sean Glover, this man needs some luck for this race. He hasn't had much in the first couple of rounds. Picked up a few penalty points along the way, but he's back out there. He's having a crack, and that's all you could ask for. And Prinata rears the field, but you say rears the field, he's right there. Like, he's only a handful of places away from and time away from being right up in that top 20.
Well, you just look at the track map, and we still got that. Oh, actually, we just had a massive gap there. Someone's probably had a bit of a moment at the Schumacher S.
Could be Hasnam.
Could be. He's coming under attack from Connor. Who's that? Connor Hine there?
No, that would be Charles Clark in the Dogecoin.
Ah, okay. So yeah, that damn ACC tower gets me every time. So now Cesano and Piper swapping positions down this little back straight. Have some level heads going into the chicane here. Bentley just swallowing up those curbs.
Yeah, whatever that incident was, the S's, that's really put a gap in the middle of that field. It's pierced a huge hole.
It's very easy to get the Schumacher S wrong because you've got to try and... A lot of the best line I've found is to get up onto that entry-exit curb to try and open up that corner as much as possible, and then not use too much of the inside curb for the left-hander and then monster the right-hander. It's very easy with the left-hander to unsettle the car in a major way, and that can create a bit of a catastrophe for yourself. And if you're leading a train of cars or in the middle of a train of cars, that can just disrupt the rhythm.
Oh, it's a little bit of a touch, and that was enough to cause a bit of drama. And there's a round that's oh, that is Anthony Cesano. He was the third or fourth one to come through there, and no fault of his own, gets a little bit of a clip and into the barrier. So stewards will be pricking their ears up and having a bit of a look, bit of a listen over Discord. Meanwhile, up ahead, Burrs still the same gap to Caracas. They've all settled down here in the top three. We'll watch a few replays back shortly. They've just managed to gap Lamb in fourth. He's got a few right hot in his heels. And the back of this pack before we get to Portis is Rashmat. So the top 12, 13 drivers, bit of a break now over the back of the grid.
Caracas is right onto the back of Burrs now, less than 2/10 between them. Just a little bit wide there and a little bit sideways for the 420. And I think he's going to be vulnerable here into the first corner. We'll see if Caracas gets his braking marker a little bit better. Expect the send. I can see him licking the stamp right now. And no, Burrs just parks it right in the middle of the track. Does he outbrake himself now? No, not quite. In fact, he actually gets really good drive.
I think Caracas was trying to push him. Not physically, but mentally push him deep into that braking zone.
Yeah, you can see him just angling the car in a little bit earlier. He's getting into the mirrors of Burrs. I'm pretty certain that Burrs is on single screen. I'm running VR, and what I notice when I'm looking into a corner and I can see the side mirror and I see someone showing the nose, it does sort of spook you out a little bit.
Let's watch the start of this race back here at Nurbs. This is the start. Lucas Burrs, as you can see, pierces the middle there of the Porsches. Baqueta on the outside, Caracas on the inside. Down to turn one. Just ahead a little bit there. Uses all the outside of the track and gets that inside line into the next corner. And that is a brilliant move done to start this race. And
yeah, Caracas was very, very polite on that first corner. He gave plenty of room to Burrs. It might have been a little bit of intelligent driving from Caracas, knowing he's not really battling Burrs in the championship. He knew that he has to be in front of Baqueta. No point risking a penalty or getting turned around on the first corner with someone you're not exactly battling with in the championship.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to be an incident with someone that's not in the current P1, P2 fight, because that just opens the door for Baqueta to have another really solid round, and then Caracas having to use his drop round for round 3. So a big race here for Caracas, and he's in prime position to pretty much take out the championship.
Starting to see a few pens come up on the timing screen there. Haslam and Clark, they've got the wag of the finger from the stewards already. I have to say, I think one of the big things that's saving Burrs at the moment is the Honda's straight line speed. Honda's probably a little bit better than the Porsche. I think where the Porsche really makes up the ground is under brakes.
This is what happened to Hasnam on lap 3. I think he just goes a little bit too wide. Yeah, he's taking a lot of curb and couldn't bring that car back around. Oh, wasn't the best rejoin ever, and that's really put that Honda in a horrible position. Doesn't take much to cause an incident.
Now, especially at the Schumacher S, it's a fast corner. And like I said, if you get it just a little bit wrong, disrupts the rhythm. If you're in a battle pack, it just creates chaos. And even when you've got a little bit of a gap, it can create a little bit of chaos. But Haslam, all in all, didn't do a bad job. A lot of other people would have had to go playing with sandcastles in the gravel trap there.
So over the front.
Oh, mistake from Caracas.
Bang. That's it, how easy it is. Slight mistake, bang, lost position. And Baqueta will say thank you very much. And take that. Which takes the pressure off Burrs for a little bit. He's got a buffer now to Caracas.
To take a photo of that, I think that's pretty rare seeing Caracas making a mistake. He's certainly been picture perfect for the last 2 rounds.
So that settles down the front 3 battle. Battle for P4. Lamb and Ty. Ty had an awesome round 1. Didn't fare as well in the following round at Silverstone. Probably not a preferred circuit, so that's probably going to be his drop round. So he's still a big chance for the top 4 overall. Corey Sweet, much better start here today. He's got Ristofani as well as another great start. And Milana with Britt and Bowen in the top 10. Hignett not too far back. These two are teammates in the Endurance Series. Connor Hine will be around here somewhere. So those 3 very close together, which is quite handy.
Connor Hine had a really good run on Thursday, managed the top 5 despite my best efforts. So it'll be interesting to see where he stacks up against these guys.
He wants to crack the top 10. I think he's done that once already. That's his goal for this series.
As we focus on the man, the myth, the legend, Ben Piper in the Bentley. Still battling away with Vining and Davis.
Sassano is the first of the pitters, and he might be in a world of hurt. He could have a bit of damage. He was the one that was pushed wide, and he's still in the pits and they're going past. So that is not good news there for Anthony Sassano.
He's also got a 10-second penalty to top that off.
You could throw a blanket over these three in qualifying, and you can still throw it over it now. 15 minutes into this race. So the pit window is well and truly open. I wouldn't expect anyone to be pitting now for strategy reasons.
I have to keep an eye on Burr's pace, probably around the 45 minutes to go mark. I think that's about when the Honda starts really chewing its tyres up. Seems to be a trend with the mid-engine cars actually. My brother has actually swapped to the Audi. We do some comp server races on Wednesday night, and he keeps saying to me that he's burning out his tyres really quick on the Audi. This must be a mid-engine car.
Oh, it could be. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
Anyone in the Ferrari, anyone driving a Ferrari out there, confirm that you're having tyre problems as well?
Yeah, let us know, chat.
Nikita is hustling at the moment. Starting to get the blowtorch out on the back of the rear bumper of this Honda. Question will be, can Lucas Burrs withstand it?
Oh, definitely. Lucas Burrs also one of the cleanest drivers out there. Very good to race against for the 3 seconds you get before he pisses off up the road. But all three of these, very clean, very good, very fast. Nikita close here, but not close enough to get a move done under brakes. I'm just going to bide their time. Pit stop, and nailing that pit stop is going to be so important. I'd say blue flag traffic is going to play a part too, but not really in a series like this. Very experienced drivers out in the circuit, and if you're getting blue flag during the race, you're pretty much done and dusted. So yes, great battle up ahead. Here, a bit further back, Lamb still holding off tight. And Corey Sweet still holding off Ristofani and Milana, with poor Britt right there as well. Hasn't been much to watch replay wise. My other monitor, very quiet.
Good night for the stewards then. Yeah, good night for the stewards.
Oh, don't say that too early.
I think everyone's just starting to settle into a rhythm here. So just settle down. Oh, there's a mistake. Just so I get the words out. Ristofani has made a mistake. He's going to be vulnerable here to Milana around the outside. It'll be a great move if he makes it work. Runs wide. He won't be able to make the move work, although he's going to try it anyway. Ooh, little hip and shoulder.
Oh, that's fair, I think. Ristofani really made him go on the outside of that track. Both drivers did try and avoid each other, so that'll be play on umpire. And unfortunately, though, Ristofani's lost 2 positions in that many corners. Milana up to P7. And Sprint up to P8.
I don't know. I mean, rules will probably state that Milana should probably give the position back, but
oh, I think he was forced wide. He had nowhere to go, and he was pretty entitled to be there. I think it's one of those ones where it's 50-50, so just should let him play.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we do want to see some hard racing, and we don't want to see everyone too afraid to make contact.
And it's hard to redress in that situation when the car's already lost another position on top of that. So he'll just leave that one to the stewards, and they'll have a squeeze.
I mean, for sure, he would have gotten a cut warning, I reckon, at least.
I don't know how bad Nurburgring is with that.
Oh, that corner, it's pretty a little bit sensitive.
Use one of his tickets up then.
Get 3 chances. Get 3 chances.
Fastest lap of the race is a 53.490. That is by Caracas in P3. Has Britt made a mistake? Seems lower than he was. I don't think so. Qualifying, Britt started in P7.
I have a feeling that Britt might have gotten a little bit bullied in turn 3 when Corey Sweet went for send of the century. So Burrs just ran a little bit wide there. That will cost him a little bit of momentum, but I don't think even Bakita could make a move into this final chicane. Don't know about you, but I think that last few sections, those last 3 corners on this track, have to be the best in ACC. I love
the
it.
best.
So I love it. It is the most fun corners in the whole game, just from my perspective. Obviously, you have to use. Actually, I might come back to that point a little bit later as Caracas trying to go around the outside. But Bakita, not as polite as Caracas.
Yeah.
Just
slammed the screen door, slammed the sliding door, locked it, padlocked it.
No, you're not going to pass there. No.
I'm just going to go watch back with Britt start. So he's just sitting about P7 at the moment, and I think he gets a little bit mugged on the outside. Yeah, he does. Slight contact with Ristofani ahead. Sweet's already through. Milana's already through. And if you just watch ahead, you see Sweet make a big bold move here. Kind of it just presented itself. I think Ty got a little bit too close to the car ahead of Lamb, but they sorted themselves out before the next couple of corners. So that's kind of what happened to Britt.
Tell you what, I think Corey just accidentally went for that send. I think it was a case of
that's what I mean.
He was watching. Yeah, he was looking for Ristofani beside him, and he just sort of looked up. Oh, everyone's on the brakes in front of me. So luckily for him, Stephen Tyler was well awake to it.
I don't think your opinion on the last couple of corners is won over. I mean,
it's only John. He doesn't count, right?
My favourite corner here would. Oh, that's a very good question.
Well, look, let me expand on it. So we're coming through here, get these curves nice and right, and you have an opportunity to go for a dive bomb into this final corner. And when you get it right, it feels awesome.
You're relying so much on the car ahead not nailing it though, because it can go pear-shaped pretty quickly.
It's easy to make a mistake in that corner at the same time, just because of those inside curbs.
You're a braver man than me, mate.
Yeah. Well, you know what I said about ex-karters, that they're all nuts. Yeah, well, you know, ex-karter.
I've done a lot of karting. I wouldn't send it there at the end of Nerb Zone. Speaking of, I got an electric scooter and I've been bombing around that on today. I took one of my good mates around there for the first time. Oh, it's so funny watching someone first jump on a scooter and then take to it like duck to water. Trying to break the sound barrier on it. Very funny. Check Discord. Okay. Yep. Hang on a sec. We'll send. Corey Sweet hanging on for now.
Milana's now that Milana got released from the back of Ristofani, he seems to be the man on the move. He's dragging Paul Britt with him too. So the pressure could be on Corey in just a few seconds, I'd say. Speaking of pressure. Blowtorch applied to the back of this Honda. Burrs really under attack here from Bakita. Bakita's got to be really smart here. You're in front of Caracas right now. You're gaining ground. It might not be a lot of ground, but really got to be smart about this move. Because obviously we saw Caracas make a little mistake trying to chase down Burrs. and that allowed Makita to go through. Right now, Makita's in a good spot. Doesn't want to lose the second place to Caracas. Actually, oh.
I thought he disappeared.
Yeah.
Where's he gone? He's more than 4/10 away. What is happening? Yeah, I thought he was gone for a sec. But yeah, for Makita here, for her championship credentials to win, she needs to have that car separating between herself and Caracas. So if she can, a bit of a slide there by Burrs. If she can get that wedge and have Burrs between them, that'll help when it comes to the drop round and results. So, and as for the tie-breaking points, it goes based on wins, podiums, top 10s, poles, fastest laps. Now, wins-wise, she can equal Caracas, but she needs to win every single race from here on out. If that happens, then it's down to podiums. They're both on three top 10s. But she leads the poles. Or no, she ties with the poles, thanks to Caracas' one today. But she leads the fastest lap. So that's how tight it is. It could come down to a fastest lap.
You know, I'm just looking at Caracas' car behaviour. It's not looking stable for this Porsche. We've already seen him make a few mistakes. I reckon he's made another mistake at that final chicane. And that's what's caused him to drop a bit of ground. He's caught up now, but this car's just not looking as settled as what we've seen at Monza and Silverstone.
He's made a couple of tiny mistakes through here, which, as you said before, it's easy to do. But experienced competitor can save it pretty well. But Burrs' Honda's just got the straight line speed that can hold off these Porsche. And you can see here, Makita, she's going to wait for the last minute and she's going to come across a little bit. No, she stays on the line and backs the fact that the Caracas isn't going to send it.
I thought Caracas was going to send it there.
Same.
He certainly had the stamp ready. He's going for a switchback here, but just makes a little mistake.
Maybe he's using Australia Post. It's a bit delayed.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Australia Post, who can't actually guarantee next day delivery for Express Post anymore. But I haven't seen many overtakes across the field, really. I still think we've only had one serve their mandatory stop. Yeah, so unfortunately, Sassano is out of this race. It doesn't take much. And hopefully he can return for round 4 at Kyalami and have a good finishing couple of races.
Just cannot take your eyes off this battle here between our top three. We've only really seen one mistake, and that was from Caracas through the final chicane. Otherwise, everything has just been picture perfect from these three. This is this is what you expect from the best of the best. But, as Conan's pointed out in chat, the Honda is starting to fade away. And look at the time. Oh, 43 minutes. What did I say? 45 minutes?
You'd be brave, man, to pit before the two Porsche, those if you're leading. Oh, Makita's made a mistake and got a bit of a touch. I'm not sure there's much Caracas could have done there. Very squirrely on exit of that chicane.
I think that might have been a bit more netcode than anything else. Hopefully that hasn't done too much damage to either car.
Fingers crossed. You can sort of see in the back. It's been touched a little.
It'll buff out. She'll be right.
Oh, everything buffs out and everything you can use racing tape for. But I still wouldn't like it on ACC.
Well,
So, take your eyes off this.
Well, with the engine in the very back of the Porsche, does that make it a bit more susceptible to other damage?
It could do. I know the rear contact on most of these mid-rear engine cars, the aero's very, very sensitive.
I mean, even in real life, when you look at the Porsche Cups, it doesn't seem to take much of a front contact to destroy the front radiators and spill coolant everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. Not that I'd have that problem. I don't have enough money to ever purchase one. If I did, I wouldn't be buying a Porsche. Sorry, Porsche fans.
Yeah, Yeah, what would you buy?
Out of all these GT3s?
Oh, yeah. Any GT?
I love my Nissan. I love my Nissan. I'd love to add another one to my garage. If it wasn't that, I think nothing screams FU money than the Bentley.
Somehow I felt like you were going to go the Bentley. The GTR surprises me. It's not very popular around the world outside of Japan. Sadly.
The people just don't know what good taste is then.
It's a capable car still.
If I could have any, if I was given any, I'd just find the most expensive and sell it and buy something else. I think we've just seen a pit stop there. Looks like Paul Britt has gone in early. I'd say early, but that window is really, really open, so you can get away with pitting now. You just don't want to be blue flagged too much. But there's no one that far back that's going to end up being blue flagged at the moment.
Is the undercut a real thing around this track, though?
Oh, I don't know, in AC. It used to be a bigger thing than then tyre temps and warming up, and then is it worth it? I don't know. Oh, Paquita has saved the car twice. That is some brown flag moments. Great save there.
We were just talking about the Honda using up its tyres, and maybe the Porsche's not too kind on its tyres around this track here either.
Who pits first? What's your guess?
Oh, I'm going to say Caracas. He'll probably try to go for the undercut. I think he's got a little bit more pace than the two in front of him. He just can't make a move work. So I reckon he'll be looking at an undercut.
Yeah, I reckon that's a pretty good shout.
He is really confident on the brakes. See how much ground he made up?
Done very well. And this is the brown flag moment. Full lock. Full lock. Great control there to save that.
I was about to say, you know what, I've had bigger saves than that, and then I remembered, oh wait, it's a Porsche.
Yeah. Oh, Caracas made another mistake.
You'd have to think that Caracas will be diving into pit lane very, very soon. Maybe he's got those tyre pressures not quite right on this car. Is he actually losing ground to Matthew Lamb? Still about 2.6 seconds between Lamb and Caracas, but he has definitely lost a lot of time to our front two. And this will just embolden Paquita too, to try and make a move on Burrs here.
Yeah, this is going to come down to that stop. They're showing very consistent times here. Well, last lap for Burrs was a 54.2, 54.3 for Paquita, and 55 flat there for Caracas, but he did make a mistake at the last chicane. Burrs' last race is consistent. Didn't fare as well. I think the Honda wasn't as great at the Silverstone as round one at Monza. It seems to be across all the Honda drivers, to be honest. Another good result here for Matthew Lamb. We'll see him jump up into that top five. He's taking the pressure very well at the moment, Burrs. What do you reckon, chat? Who's going to pit first? I'm going to say Paquita does. Actually, no. I should know better. Loves going long. But normally she's ahead, so maybe she does pit first. I reckon we'll see pit stops in probably about the 30-minute mark.
It's a very awkward pit entry as well, so...
Oh, many a driver hit that outside wall.
Well, even just the entry, trying to get the car into the slip lane. Now they're coming up onto lap traffic. I see Ben Piper just coming out of pit lane. So this might shake things up a little bit.
Oh, I think with this experienced field, with their pace, And the situation with what's happening out on track, I think they'll be very well aware of what's going on behind, and it's unfortunate to get blue flagged and having to yield up more time, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Caracas has gone wide. I saved it again. Is this guy a Croatian goalkeeper? As I said right then and there, there's Piper doing the right thing and just tapping out early. Just, unless he's turned the car off. And he just looks for a little bit of a window and tucks in behind Stephen Ty. So that's how blue flags work. Very unselfish there from Mr. Piper.
Well, it's still a long way to go, and the drivers that he is battling, I think they're still all battling away pretty hard, and they'll have to deal with the leaders as well, unless the leaders pit this lap. So they'll have to slow down as well. So Piper looking at the big picture, I would say.
Yep. Well, that window, it's going to happen soon, because you can see the pit lane is ramping up activity at the moment. Oh, Paquita makes a bit of a mess in entry. You don't want to send it right then and there, right now, before this pit stop. Looks like 789's just had an off. That might be Hasnum again. It is. I'll try and find that on a replay monitor. Paquita going to defend inside. There's going to be a blue flag car. Caracas is going to have a bit of a look. You don't want to have any contact. Oh, they've done very well there. Paquita's gone wide on the grass. Hangs on. A little bit of a touch again. Oh, that's hard racing. And blue flag traffic just taps right out. If these two come together, it's always mid-corner.
Yeah, no, that was certainly elbows out driving from Philippa there. Definitely did not want to surrender that second place to Caracas. They were just in a very awkward position with that lap car as well.
The stewards have been instructed at the start of the series to let them race. Might get away with a little bit more side by side, because the drivers definitely are experienced enough and know what they're doing, but you don't want to push that limit too much. So I think that was okay. But I am not in the steward box right now. I am watching Stephen Ty try and get his own brown flag moment right then and there. Oh, and he almost paid the ultimate price. Glover missing his brake marker. Whew, that was close.
Certainly got that brown flag moment.
So there's the bottom half of the table. You can see a lot of green now. Burrs and Paquita have pitted at the same time. That's huge. So Caracas is going to be out front leading by himself here. Burrs, Paquita cross the pit entry line. Wrong.
I think that was best case scenario for Burrs as well. Like, if he came in too early, Paquita would have been free to lap at whatever blistering pace she normally does. And pitted too late, Paquita was going to be able to come out in clear track and do blistering fast laps. So that is really best case scenario for Lucas Burrs. I reckon he looked in the mirror, saw Paquita and Caracas come together and went, I'm coming in this lap. I've got a gap. I'm coming in this lap.
I know this is riveting footage, but let's watch the two pitters. Who's going to come out first? Burrs has dropped. He's away. We wait for Paquita to do the same. It's going to be very close. I reckon Burrs has got to just drops, and she's away. So they're going to resume that battle 1 and 2 provisionally. And we wait with bated breath to see what Caracas does up on the lead.
He'd have to come in this lap.
Oh, you'd have to.
Surely. You got lap traffic in front who are having their own battle as well, by the way.
Oh, that's deep.
And Malik. They're battling away, and last thing you want is coming up on blue flag cars that are battling. Meanwhile, down to 11th, here's Corey Sweet, still holding off poor Brett. Now, is that Molina behind Paul Britt?
Yes. So Britt might have got them in the pits.
Yeah, undercut, I'd say. Time and power should update any second now. It's Caracas and Lamb into pit lane now.
This is what happened to Mario Hasnam. He's not having a fun time at this corner section. Oh, he's so lucky there not to come across. It looks like Hind. What's the car? Caracas is
S. Yeah, Schumacher S claims another victim.
So Burrs coming up to the last corner. Caracas has dropped and he's away. Burrs has the run down to turn one. This will obviously be very tight. Burrs is carrying a lot of speed down to turn one, so Caracas might get Bikini here.
He has.
Wow.
That is nightmare scenario for Bakita, but Caracas on cold tyres. This is when Bakita should be, well, she will be. She'll be throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Caracas here. Caracas.
I know Ali Kai ridden tonight. Don't know where Ali is. Missing that one McLaren out there. Oh, Connor Hind has picked up a stop-go 30, and that's definitely for pit speeding. So, I reckon that'll get converted to a 10-second. Never nice to do that.
You know what? I think Lucas Burrs is in a great spot here.
Oh, he
take
is.
that win. Caracas and Bakita. Bakita's absolutely determined to get around Caracas again. So these two are going to be fighting really hard, and that's going to distract them from chasing down Burrs.
Yeah, this will be the the last two series. So the Sprint Pro Series will be used to drop round. If you want to get up that leaderboard, you've got to race and turn up. So make the most of the drop round because it will not be seen in 2023. Oh, Burrs, I think he made a bit of an error there because that gap is back under 1 second. So 28 minutes to go, and the front three separated by about a second. And that's been the way for the last, well, since the start of the race. What else is going on further down the grid? Paul Britt, Corey Sweet having a nice battle. Alex Bowen is up into P9. Hot in the heels of him is his endurance teammate, Benjamin Hignett. And Connor Hind, unfortunately, has picked up a 10-second penalty, which is a speeding in the pit lane penalty, converted via OR rules. Because stop-go 30 for speeding in the pits in a sim racing game is a bit silly. Especially in a short race like this. But if you pick up a track limit penalty, you'll get a drive through by the game, and that doesn't change. That's something you've got to cop fair and square. Oh, Caracas is very close here, and Bakita's just fallen away a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like the balance is swapped here. Caracas' car is starting to come on, and Bakita's just starting to drift away a little bit.
So Bakita's going to want Burrs to defend with every single inch of that Honda. And he will. So they're so good under brakes. Now, Caracas has had a look a couple of times. He had one move early in the race. I think that was lap 2. It's just settled down a little bit now, though. Doesn't need P1. That's the thing. If he gets P2 here, he could very well have stitched up this championship if Bakita can't get past. Because he'll have first, and a third. Bakitas have second, and a third. So it's all to play for here. But there's prizes for the top 3, and then there's random prizes for everyone else that does 3 or more races. So it's always worth having a crack. Matthew Lamb will be having a very quiet race. Very peaceful race for Matty. Something he's been quite used to in the sprint series of late. Just doing his thing.
Yeah, normally he's at the top end of the leaderboard though.
Oh, he's pretty close up there. I don't think I'd be upset if I was P4 in this race.
I'd be thrilled if I'm P15, honestly.
Yeah. Just saw a yellow flag at the back, 524. That was Chris Vining. He's had his money's worth today, unfortunately.
Just saw a little bit of a slide for Burrs through that left-hander. So the pressure just starting to creep in now. They're seeing that green Porsche back in the mirrors instead of the what's that, yellow and blue Porsche.
Hangs on for another lap. This is what happened to Chris Vining last turn 1.
Oh, I think he's going to get a boop. Yep. Oh.
I don't know why drivers don't turn from the car and really sacrifice their line with that situation. Some are just hoping the brakes pull up, but you've got to try and work out how much speed you're actually carrying, and if you're going to hit them, try and take evasive action. Wish we saw a little bit more of that, but unfortunately, Chris Vining has been spun for the second time today. Looks like Morgan's picked up a drive-through penalty. I'm going to assume that's for that incident, or maybe it's for track limits. Either way, that's never fun.
Looks like, is it just me or is Burrs just sort of checking up a little bit mid-corner?
I think it's hard to tell because of Caracas' ping. So it might look like that. But he's playing good on the apex.
Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe Burrs is just sort of letting it coast a little bit longer in the mid-corner just to slow up the pace a little bit and bring Bakita back into this fight. It's a huge favour for Bakita. It's going to be a bigger favour for Burrs.
I think that's a long bow. Suggests that Burrs is helping Bakita. What he would be doing if he was doing that was to try and put the pressure on Caracas from Bakita's car. But that is a big risk against the two behind. They're very, very quick.
See, Caracas was thinking about making the move there. The door wasn't open long enough. Yep, Bakita back into this battle again.
.22 minutes left. And this is to be in the battle for the first portion of this race. Absolutely stellar efforts. It's hard to take your eyes off it and look at the rest of the field when the battle for the lead is less than, what, 6/10 at the moment between the top 3.
Yeah, shout out to Corey Sweet. He's managed to open up a gap to Paul Britt. Britt's under pressure from Milana. We'll see a 3-way battle between Bone, Hickman and Rushmart. And even down with Davis and Clark, they're having their own little private battle. Glover and McKellar as well, down 21st and 22nd. So shout out to those guys. Unfortunately, it's not that you're not good enough, it's just this battle is just so engaging.
I'm just looking at the leaderboard there with the car manufacturers. Porsches are in two bunches. 2nd to 6th, 18th to 20th, as I switch a position there and Glover ruins it for everybody. But Hasnam, Malik and Priyanata, they're all in the same MPRGP team, I believe. All similar pace. Caracas really gains on exit towards the last corner. We're going to see some fireworks soon up here. There's got to be some moves made. There's championships on the line. Kid just cannot quite get close enough. I say that like you can touch his car from her window, but just not enough to get the car ahead. Let's go check out the battle for 6th. Milano is very close here to the back of the Paul Britt. Paul Britt defends the inside line. Milano looks for the switchback. He won't have the room or the legs on that Aston.
Yeah, Aston's still not quite as good off the corner as what the Porsche is. It's still a little bit sluggish. Nowhere near as bad as what it used to be, but yeah. It's also really hard to make the switchback work at that turn 1, I find. I don't know why.
Oh, it's such a large dip. Sometimes it feels like your car can get a good run through there, but if you bottom out too much, it's just she bogs down. Good battle here for P9, Bowen, Hignett, Rushmat. I don't think Alex Bowen's had a top 10 so far. I'll just check the leaderboard. Not as yet. He's had a couple of 11ths, and that was last week. So looking for a PB here in the Pro Series. Right here, Alex, on a Thursday night at about 8 o'clock. He's one of the commentators for Splitters, Ascari. Does a brilliant job behind the mic. And this is close. Oh, those Honda legs. Stretch those Honda legs. Paquette is saying.
Burrs will give him room, but around the outside he can make it work and hold the position. This will just bring Bakita back into it. So Burrs runs wide, look for the switch back into turn number 3 as Caracas will have the overlap, and he's going to make this move stick. Watch for Bakita to try and follow Caracas through, but no. And this is a nightmare scenario for Bakita.
Yeah, this is not ideal. Caracas is very patient there through that section. Capitalised on the mistake. So, it's 18 minutes left. Championship on the line. If Burrs wins here, it is the VRS Pro Series in the books. Kid, I wish she had a phone line directly to Burrs' car and saying, go faster, get past, do something, please help. But I'm sure she's very relaxed behind that wheel. Burrs, however, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I think he just got a little bit panicked. Maybe not panicked is the right word, but maybe a little bit unsettled with Caracas putting it up inside, and then just overdrove into turn 2, and that's all that Caracas needed to make the switchback work.
There's plenty of time though for a mistake to be made.
We've seen plenty of mistakes from Caracas tonight already, especially in this last chicane. That seems to be Caracas' Achilles heel.
Oh, now Burrs is under the pump here from Bakita.
Could have sworn we saw this a lack of it.
She wants the inside. She's going to make him earn every single bit of this. Oh, he's locked up a little, it looked like. Nice switch. but the tricky proposition here of around the outside. She needs to keep hanging on to the next corner and go around the outside again, but Burrs has just got enough. She's going to go switch back. She's made a move. Bit of a touch there. She's had to back off. She didn't quite get the move done, but she had to have a crack at it. And that has put Caracas right in the box seat.
A+ for effort from Bakita. Saw what she was trying to do, but unfortunately for Bakita, so did Burrs.
Yeah. I can't fault the effort made there because she needed to take a risk. She needed to take a risk, and Burrs was just onto it. So 3.3 seconds is the gap now between P1 and P2. We're down here in P7. And Milana has been in the thick of it as well. Let's go Britt for company. So as it stands, Grand Task Caracas is going to get a win here, and that will secure the VRS Pro Series Championship because even with a horrible round next week, you can use it as a drop round.
You were really laying on the commentator's curse there, aren't you?
No. It's impossible to curse those front three.
Take a minute.
Is that a curse in itself? No. No, I want everyone to have a good race, always.
Oh, we don't deliberately curse people.
Oh, I've done it before.
Often.
Get around the outside again. Burrs is just really going to make her earn this overtake, and again, no room. Defends the inside, makes Bakita go around the outside. There's just no space out there, no run. Will she try again?
Back. Oh, yes, she will. No, not quite. But this is bringing Lamb back into it too.
It is. Oh, that's another little bit of a look. Oh, it's going to leave the outside, width on the outside there. Bakita. Oh, this will be a move and a half if we get around the outside that corner. But no space. And Burrs smartly shuts the door. And this is just letting Caracas run away a little bit now.
He's got almost that stripe to the carousel between himself and Burrs now.
And here you are. Here's Matthew Lamb. I'd like to join this party, says Matthew. 2 podiums last week. I think Bakita will be fuming at the moment. I think Lamb's a chance here to really knock this door down.
Well, with the way this is going, he could end up in second.
Yep. Just watch on board with Matthew. It's sector 1 that he gains on the time because they're battling, they're switching, they're taking compromised lines to defend. So the gap is 1.5. We'll keep an eye on that, but not as close as she was the last couple of laps. Burrs can take a breath. And Caracas 6.1. G'day Moritz, how are you, sir? So can Lamb join this fight? And Dick is really making Britt earn P6. The first of our front engine cars. They're very limited out there these days. But at least they've got the engine in the right spot.
Make a good noise too, the Astons.
Oh, they do. I like the shifts. They're very clunky. The gearbox. So, Milana missed last week, as we were mentioning before. Jettisoning around the world. As was Rajmat. They're back out there tonight. It's just, yeah, hard to take away a battle for podium here. 1.7 seconds, the gap's extended there to P4, so that's settled down a little bit. All those finishing outside the top 3 in the championship go into a draw for some prizes as well, so don't have to be the fastest out there to get something out of the Pro Series. There's a lot of experience to be gained competing in this type of series. And it's great to see so many of you have a crack.
I'll tell you what, you definitely learn a hell of a lot more racing people who are better and faster than you do stomping other people. So,
oh, absolutely.
Racing can feel like this, yeah.
Especially if you're very open-minded and you like to learn new things and you're not just thinking that you already know everything. Like, there's always something to learn, there's always something to improve, and that's in all facets. And no doubt there's a lot of drivers out there that are getting a crash course what it takes to compete in these series. So the battle for ninth, this has been this way for a long time. So these battles aren't just going for a couple of laps, they're going for 10, 20, 30 minutes. You need consistency.
Oh yeah, I need to look at the battle for the lead. That was going on for what, good 40 minutes.
I take my hat off to Chris Vining. He's been very unfortunate with 2 incidents tonight through no fault of his own. Currently in 17th, chasing down Mr. Gibbons. Good old Gibbo. Livery needs work though. No, I'm joking, it's fine, mate. You do you. Didn't have a great luck in round 1. Round 2, very solid. Chris Vining, one of our combatants racing from North America tonight. As is Kenneth Portis II, who is sitting in 12th. And this will be his best performance for the series. Great work there, Kenneth. I don't think Bakita's going to want to look at a Honda ever again. Little birdie told me she should be driving a different vehicle potentially in the future. I won't say what and where and why, because I don't know all the details, but
it's probably not going to make a difference, so it's probably just going to be just as fast.
She's going to drive the Rita Engineering Lamborghini Gallardo.
Oh good, so she'll only win by 5 seconds this time.
That'd be interesting to see if that could actually happen. Ooh, looks like Milana has got past Brett. Stephen Ty must have had an incident or an issue during stop. I thought he was a bit higher up than that.
He was up there with Lamb. I thought Lamb was looking a little bit lonely.
I'm going to find out that overtake. Oh, it's close. Oh my word, that was close. They've definitely exchanged phone numbers there.
Definitely took the top layer of clear coat off the front and back of those cars. Burr's a little bit ragged through that final chicane as we get a replay for you. I think we're going to see sadness through the chicane. Yep, just a hop, skip, and a send here. Lovely move.
Yep. Opportunity presented itself, and Milana said thank you.
And Ty's also gotten around Brett too. So it hasn't been a happy week at the Nurburgring for poor Brett. a bit of a struggle on Thursday night as well. Just I think he went the wrong tyre selection as the track was drying up. And tonight's just not going to plan for him either.
Yeah, this is what happened with Stephen Ty. Brit's gone deep, and Ty saw the opportunity as well and said, you know what, I'm going to have a crack here too. And a little bit of argy-bargy side by side, but that's all fair in love and war. So 2 positions in half a lap, but still P8, and there's nothing to be disappointed about.
Not in this field. No way.
Definitely not. So pit window closes soon, which won't matter because everyone would have done their stop by now. If you haven't, you've done ACC wrong. No one's going to do the bender strat out there tonight. Oh, so good through there.
Chance here for Bakita. Real bad run for Burrs through the chicane. End up grabbing a lot of dirt. And that's caused him to have a bit of a mid-corner slide at the final turn. Bakita not close enough for ascend still.
I think we've seen 2 penalties all night for racing incidents. That just shows you how good and clean this series has been tonight. I could be wrong. It could be a couple more, but that 10-second penalty there, that's for pit speeding, so that's not really an incident penalty.
We've seen a drive-through for Morgan.
Ah, yes.
a little.
Is that the 2? The Morgan Davis? I think there might be another one as well, but if you count it on one hand, you've had a good night, especially across the 70-minute sprint race. Oh, I don't know how Burrs has managed to hold on for an hour and 5 minutes from Bakita and Caracas. He's had to let the Caracas through because finally got past. Don't count out Lamb though. Only one little thing has to happen between these two and Lamb's on that podium. He's right there, you can see in the background. Ready to pounce. So we're just under 5 minutes now, a few laps left. Just go on board with Bakita, this final little sector. So strong through here. But that Honda just stretches its legs very nicely down this straight, and you can't quite get close enough in the Porsche. Fastest lap of the race is for car 19. That's Caracas with a 53.3 during the race. That is just rude, disgusting, and not needed. Bakita's done a 53.5 and Burrs has done a 53.7. The other 2 into the 53s is Lamb with a 53.5 and Stephen Ty with a 53.8. Oh, she just tries everything. Hats off to Burrs though. He's been very good defending.
Cannot speak more highly of Lucas Burrs at the moment. This is an impressive drive from him. He's been withstanding the pressure from not just Caracas but Bakita as well. Like 2 names that I would hate to have behind me in any race. He's held on for now.
Is that pit stop? That getting in front there of Bakita, the pit stop, was so pivotal there for Caracas.
Yeah, I'm struggling to. I'm trying to work out how he's done that, because he had fallen behind Bakita by a few seconds and he's come out in front of her. Or maybe Bakita just couldn't get the tyres up to temperature fast enough.
I don't know, because she was right there with Burrs. So let's watch the race changing overtake. This was on lap 27. Caracas had a look in the inside of turn 1. Burrs around the outside, gets the inside for the next corner. And I think he just makes a little bit of a mistake, goes a bit deep. And Caracas didn't need another second invite. Gets up alongside and pretty much gets the move done before turn 4. That's the tail of the tape as he goes really wide on exit there. Oh, a little bit of a touch because Burrs is again very squirrely through that first couple of corners. And that's quite hard to avoid, but they've done well there. Lamb 1.1 seconds back. He's closer than he's ever been this race to the podium. Other than lap 1 probably. Oh, she's lost the sides. Good save.
Moment there.
Great save though. 524 is around at the last corner. That could be Vining again. He is not going to be buying a postcard from this circuit.
Heading into the final lap of this race, Grantis Caracas still your race leader as he goes around Ben Piper again. Ben Piper, sad story for Ben. He was having a good run in the first half of this race, but the second half just hasn't seemed to click for the Bentley. So last chance now for Philippa to try and get this move done on Burrs. Forget about Caracas. There's nothing she can do about Caracas unless some Deus Ex Machina happens for Caracas. But again, she'll be sick of seeing this Honda. Have a look at the replay, and it wasn't quite sadness until right now.
He's not going to be a happy boy.
No.
3 tonight. I think he's been involved in every incident, and none of them were his fault. That's just extremely unlucky.
That was a weird one. It looked like he slowed down coming out of the corner.
I think he's just trying not to understeer into the gravel, but the car behind him wasn't paying attention, maybe. I don't know. Tough one, but it's in the books now.
I mean, Vining didn't exactly engage reverse.
No, exactly. All right, it's the last lap. Caracas, unless his internet explodes into a trillion pieces, he is going to be our VRS Pro Series champion after round 3. Insurmountable lead here with win after win after win. And it hasn't been easy. It has not been easy. But he's done enough. He's made the moves when they've needed to be made. And he's been absolutely stellar. Well done, Grantas Caracas, VRS Pro Series champion for Season 1. And a hard luck story here. Lamb has managed to catch these two, but Burrs defended the entire race. Picks up P2. Bakey's going to be P3, and Matty Lamb P4. Oh, you can feel the disappointment there for Bakita. She's been so close every single race. Corey Sweet, this is his best performance so far in the series, P5. As is Milana. I think Milana was P6 in round 1. Stephen Ty, P7. Paul Britt, P8. Alex Bowen is PB for the Pro Series, P9. And Benjamin Higdon is going to hold off Rush Mutt and finish in the top 10. Great racing.
Seeing a lot of happy drivers out there right now. Burrs was over the moon with 2nd. See, Corey Sweet was happy over the moon with 5th. Bowen was happy with 9th for sure. A bit of a sad story here for Connor Hind, even though he's finishing 13th. I don't think he's going to hold on to 13th with that 10-second pen.
No, he might. He might lose 2 spots. So Hind, Davis, Clark cross the line. Gibbons is next, 16th. 3-way battle here for P19. Prinata, McKillop and Glover. McGlover much cleaner today. Stay out of trouble. He's going to finish 21st. That's on the around the outside there. That's bold. Here, the final chicane. McKellar's pulled out. Very nice of him. So Brianna should hold on. Nope, never mind. McKellar's gone very, very deep. Glover's going to have a look in the last corner. They're going to have a race to the finish line. Porsche versus Honda. I'm going to go the Honda here. Yep, get absolutely wrecked, Porsche. Oh, wow. What a nice little finish. Morgan P22, Floody Malik P23. And that is round 3 done here at the VRS Pro Series.
Brilliant racing from P1 all the way down to last place. Got to take your hats off to every single driver that's in this field. But, yeah, hard to go past Caracas, Burrs and Bakita in that just epic battle.
Yeah, so let's go qualifying. It was Caracas taking pole position here with a 52.650 flying lap. We had 2 other drivers into the 52s, which was Bakita and Burrs. And over to the race, Caracas, he didn't have it all his own way the whole race. Lost the lead early on. Burrs was leading most of the race, but after the pit stops, a bit of a switcheroo and ran away 10.4 second clear of Burrs. Bakita right behind P3. Lamb and Britt in the top 5 with Milana, Ty, Britt, Bowen, Hignett in the top 10. Some PBs there, some sadness. We obviously lost Sassano early on in the race, and it looks like we lost Aristofani. Not too much further after that. So that is the tail of the tape as we announce that Grantas Caracas is our Pro Series champion for Series 1. So congratulations, Grantas. Great racing there.
Absolutely untouchable this entire season. Well-deserved championship, honestly.
Oh, definitely. Had everything thrown at him. It could have gone either way. There's a couple of things there that could have been toss a coin and have different result every single time. But has definitely deserved it. It was great to see. And that was a fantastic race. And I'm looking forward to the final round next week as well after the Kailami. It's not over yet though. There's still prizes for P2 and P3, as well as that those that have raced in 3 races are into the draw for some prizes, which we will do post-race after next week. But thanks for joining me tonight, Matt. It's been a pleasure as always, sir.
Been a pleasure being in the commentary box.
I'll see you next week for Kailami, and tomorrow night we're off to China for the very final round of our F1 series. Join JC Yoda and the team as they bring the series home and announce the next lot of champions in the F1 series. Anyway, my name's Neil. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Take care.